the self within us resides. And so this shloka is paying tribute to the Atma within us, the self, our true self, in the form of Shiva. कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारम् सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवां भवानी सहित्यं नमामि। साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। Taking a deep breath in, just breathe into your hand and exhale. Allow your shoulders to drop, allow your eyebrows to fall. You can put your hand back on your lap, fingertips facing upwards, and just feel the sensations on your fingertips without being attached to what's going on. And now we can move our attention to the top of our head, to the realm of the Sahasrara, 1,000-petaled lotus, multicolored. And this shloka pays homage to the Devi, the goddess that resides at our Sahasrara, Bhavani. And here, just allow yourself to surrender. This is the shloka of surrendering to your own higher power, connecting to your own higher power. Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvarth Sadhike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Brahmarupe Sadananda Paramananda Swarupini Riddhi Siddhi Prade Devi Narayani Namostute Sharanagata 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 Dina Paritrana Parayani Sarvasyaarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute 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 Narayani Namostute Just allow yourself to feel the effect of the music, of the sound in your body, dancing around your energy centers, on your fingertips, and the soles of your feet. And just witness where your attention is, where your mind is now. Is it void of thought? Is it connected? Are there any sensations? And just watch, just witness. Allow yourself to melt into meditation. We can take our right hand and just cup it at the base of our spine, in front of our body. And with listening to the sound of the tampura, you can just hum the note. And as you hum it, you can just raise your hand up the center of your body and just reach it up to the top of your head. So breathing in, let's try it. Everyone taking a deep breath in. As we raise this energy up the central path and just hover our hand above our head. You can do this 2 more times. Allowing your whole body to vibrate with the resonance in your voice. Last time. Pressing the crown of our head, the fontanelle bone area, and just pressing firmly down there. And then we can straighten our backs lift our hand above our head and just see if we feel any sensation there. Could be a cool, could be some tingling, could be some temperature. Again, just witness it. Vibration. And then you can put your hands back down. And then Brennan, when you're ready, you can.
Let's just sit for just a few more moments. Feel your awareness expand and lift. And again, because it's very rare for many of us to experience a state of meditation, and because we're all together, it's much more powerful. I'd like for you guys to absorb it just a little while longer. So we'll sit for about 3 more minutes and just bathe in this experience of your spirit. Okay. So you can slowly open your eyes. Just sit for a moment with your eyes open, see how you feel. Go ahead and place your hands together if you're comfortable with that. And let's bow to each other, honor each other. Look at all these beautiful humans here, these beautiful faces, and bow to yourself for taking this time to be here in this difficult time, for us gathering in this virtual space that is beyond space and time, and being able to receive these vibrations from Nicki when we're all thousands of miles away. And thank you so much, Nicki, for that. Never wanted to end, as always.
Thank you for having me.
You. Yes, thank you. Such a blessing. Does anyone want to share their thoughts? Okay, Mary, hand up. Go ahead, Mary.
Hello. That was so beautiful, Nicki. I am so grateful for tuning in to the vibration of the gift of your voice. I had an unintentional kundalini awakening several years ago when I was seeking God's source universe and I was done suffering, and I just felt like the vibrations turning, and I'm a visual person, so as you were seeing the first 5 minutes, I just saw like coils, like DNA, like, and they turned into snakes rising up into my head. And these two fingers were, they were just in my attention, like heat. I don't know what these represent, just these two.
Which one? Oh, these two.
It's Agya, third eye.
Yeah.
And solar.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And like when I was raising, like when you said to like press down, like feel the energy, I felt pressure in my ear whenever I pushed it down, because I'm like, oh my gosh, and I can still feel it. It was only on my right side, pressure on my right ear when I press it down. I don't know how to explain what happened. So.
Well, I think it's all reacting on a subtler level. I mean, that is your ear is connected to your Vishuddhi chakra, which is your throat chakra energy center. And so, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things going to be happening on that level, which will be happening at a parasympathetic level. So, I mean, if things are kind of working through, just allow your Kundalini to work through it, because she knows what you need. And and if there's that flow just happening, then it's all kind of putting everything into place. And it's sometimes try not to analyze too much what is going on and what means what, because one can then get too much in the head about it, but just to allow the process of the energy to just take you where you need to go, and to allow this releases of pockets of tension within the body and obstacles and obstructions that the Kundalini then burns through. You see, so that sounds really, really great and a positive experience for you. And I hope I'd love to encourage you to further develop and to deepen your meditations. And if you'd like to find out more about this kind of music, I can put my email on here, and anyone can just email me and ask me any questions, or if they want to even learn some or how to use their own voice in this kind of way to deepen your meditations, then I'm more than happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Does anyone else want to share what they felt? Yeah, T, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. During the meditation, a recurring image came up, like in my mind's eye, that's come up a lot, and it was just this opening eye. And as the eye opened, it was pulsing and just pulsing. And then within the eye was like this kaleidoscopic void, this wormhole within the eye. And then as we were getting deeper into the meditation, as Nicki was singing, within the void of that eye, I saw like just a huge dark bird, like a hawk or like an eagle, backlit by a dark orange sun, and like the sun's rays were just shining through this large bird's feathers, and it was just this huge bird, just very, very slowly, just flying and just flapping its wings in slow motion. I'm not sure what it was about, but that's what I saw.
That is very interesting and very, very detailed. That's cool. Nicki, what do you think? I mean,
that's quite unbelievable, because a bird is a bird is meant to be my spirit animal.
me too.
And I just since I was a baby, I was named Big Bird, but not saying that the bird is me necessarily or anything, but a bird is also could represent your spiritual self that is within you, and like you said, within the pupil of this eye meaning the self, and that bird, which is it's you, it's all of us, actually. It's all of us are this bird, and it's that potential within us that we need to connect to on a deeper way to manifest that bird within us, because a bird is not only the messengers from God or the divine or however you want to call it, but they are freedom within us. They are what freedom is within us. And so it's all of our potential to be that, the center eagle or bird that you had in the core of that pupil. So I think that's a very powerful image you had.
It's beautiful. And the sun as well. The sun is very powerful. I mean, it represents like enlightenment, you know? It shines a light on everything. It illuminates it. It warms, you know? It gives the bird the ability to see, you know? It lightens its path. I also know my spirit animal is an eagle, so we're probably like from the same nest. No, I'm just kidding. And actually in Sahaj, my name is Surya, and it means the sun. So like I really resonate with the sun as well. But that's really powerful, and that's really beautiful, and you should like remember that moment forever. Write that down in your dream journal. If you don't have one, you can start. Because it sounds like a very like personal moment that should be enshrined in your memory forever. That sounds really special. Anyone else? Mr. Daniel, I know you have something to say. Okay, Quinn raised her hand as well.
Hello. Everybody hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it's wonderful because like I've got a very heavy trauma on my body. So I feel like my body blocked. But today when I hear her voice, I want to cry. It's like something my body tells me up to my mind. I feel the message. And when I raise my hand, oh my God, it's like a very powerful and love energies go through me and to heal from my mind to my body. It's a wonderful feeling. Thank you, Nicki.
Oh, that's so beautiful and very moving. Thank you for sharing. And that energy that you raised with your own hand is the kundalini mother nurturing energy within all of us, within you. And that loving feeling, that loving energy that you felt is her nature, is to nurture you. And you have that within you, within your body. And it's your right, your birthright to have this connection with this mother nurturing energy. So even in your own time, it could be ideally early in the morning, say around 4 or 5 when it's magic hour, and just sit there breathing deeply, and then just cupping your hand like this. You can raise it, you can lift it at the bottom of your of your body like this, and then just raise it up and just allow it to do what she naturally does, which is to completely activate, awaken, and nurture you. And she is your primordial mother within you. So that love that you felt and that divine nurturing is always there for you to connect with. And you know, I'm very happy to even I actually have an album of these shlokas released, so I can put a link here on the message group if anyone wants to listen to it in their own time. And each one has actually might have one around. Each one has on the sleeve notes tell you the translation of the Sanskrit and which raga as well, which is the melodic mood or color. And if you feel like a particular chakra that feels maybe blocked or trapped, you can play that shloka and, you know, have your hand on that center. It could be any center, and meditate with it, breathe through it, meditate with it. Allow your body to heal in the way that it naturally wants to. And it's so much a process of us allowing ourselves to unravel. And that can be so vulnerable and very scary and daunting. But to allow your body to know how to heal itself is allowing the kundalini to know exactly what she needs to do.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and so if you've been tuning in, I've been saying that again, like so much of our spiritual culture is based on learning and doing and learning and doing and consuming and learning and doing, but you have to sit, you know, you have to allow the natural process to take place. And all natural processes in our body take their own pacing. And so right now, this energy, it's like she's waiting for us to call her. And then when she awakens, she knows. It's like a seed. Inside of a seed can sit in the winter in the snow for an entire, it can wait until the perfect conditions. But within that seed, the minute those conditions arise, it knows exactly how to grow. It knows exactly how to turn those cells into roots and then into bark, and how to differentiate. And so it's like a seed. And like Nicki said, it's nature. It is the healer within us. So when you feel it now is the time to sit and allow it to grow and to take root into your being. And it's thirsty for your trauma. It's thirsty because, like the earth, all of our dead material becomes fertilizer for the earth. All things decaying, all things that don't serve us, that aren't healthy for us, the earth consumes, redistributes, and creates something new and beautiful. And so this energy is there and it's yours, and you don't need to go to some temple or to go to some church or to, you know, read anything special. You just have to go within yourself. And Daniel, you wanted to share? You're mute. Unmute you 1 second. Oh wait, I'm on my phone. Wait, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this was almost a state I didn't want to leave. I mean,
that's why I like, let's continue.
Yeah, it's like I can continue this for a while, but anyways, but I know the reality is there's a time for everything. But man, as we went into it, I felt in the energy from my palms and that lower palm that we centered at. And as we went into the music and atonement, I could feel it just like roots, that pulsating energy just going out through my hands and through my body. And then even when you would hit different notes, it was like, I can't really explain it to you now, but it was like within in that my kundalini knew this note was for this, the heart, this note was for my throat. And I could feel it. Wow. I could visualize and actually feel it going up. And then when, you know, I almost felt like when you went to the crown and I went to the crown, I could almost visualize seeing Dr. Strange hold that ball between his hands. And but the energy, just the power of the energy, and some of the things, you know, if I could just be honest, as a child, I went through a lot of stuff with abuse. And even though like my upper chakras really had a flow, but I always knew that lower one, you could hear me breaking up a little bit, was a struggle at times. And I felt like it was really out today. Healed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And it's something I dealt with and know, and it comes back to me, but I could actually feel the balance.
Mm-hmm.
And really appreciate it. And then as it ended, it was like this light came in, and it was like my third chakra, and it was like orange, you know, almost like the tequila sunrise, or, you know, that sun, you know, or that orange and yellow blend of diversity of these colors and this experience but really I could see it in my third eye, just like expanding it brighter and brighter, and I could hear it in the tone, and it was just really beautiful. Just beautiful. And I really appreciate it. I'd like to get some of your music and apply that to my meditation. I really would like to do that. I would like to do that. And then I don't remember, I'm not great with names. No, T fam, when you express that, there's a dream I had about 6 or 7 months ago, maybe longer. And it was like in the dream, this bird came and it was gonna peck my forehead on my third eye. And I actually woke up and yelled bird and almost fell out of bed. And I was like, what does that mean? But it kind of came clear today what it means through what you shared, and then what you guys put together, that it kind of came clear what it meant to me today. Dream.
That's so interesting you say that, because the other day a situation happened where I was sitting just here, and from the corner of my eye in my periphery vision, a bird blasted into my window, like banged into the glass. So there's a window here, and I could see this kind of, it was a pigeon, and I could see this kind of gray getting closer and closer, and then boom, and it really banged really, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, and I thought this bird would have died. So I went downstairs, and on the patio, it was really injured. It was in pain, and there was no joke about it. Loudest bang. I really thought this creature was going to die. And so I saw it there, and it was quite traumatized. And I immediately closed the door, and my dog was kind of curious, and I closed the door, and then I just stayed with this bird. I sat down and tried to kind of gain its trust. And then it allowed me to pick it up, and I put it in my hand, and I started singing to this bird. And I totally, with all of my love and all of this vibration that I could feel from my hands going into his body. And I realized it was a him, just because he just let me know. I didn't know it was a girl or a female or male, but it was a male. And he looked at me with his eyes, and then we just connected. And all of this energy and love that I was putting into this bird, I could feel it within my own body. And I said to this bird, if you need to go, if you need to leave, it's okay. Everything's okay. And don't worry, you can leave if you need to. I'm here for you. I'm here with you. I see you as a spirit bird. And we had this moment, and then I put the bird down and gave it food. And then the rest of my housemates started loving this bird, and we kind of adopted it. We gave it bread, we gave it water, and it slept overnight, and it was fine. And I named him Arthur. For some reason, I didn't tell you this story, and then in the morning, it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and the morning light was coming in, and I came downstairs for a meditation, and I saw Arthur flapping his wings, trying to fly, but struggling. And I sat down for a moment in front of my meditation altar, and then I just knew what I had to do. And I opened the door, and I said, "Morning, Arthur." And I said, "Is it your time to go? Do you want to be freed?" And he couldn't actually physically fly. He was struggling. He couldn't go over the wall. because he was in pain or he was damaged. But we had a moment again, I was of silence, and then he again allowed me to pick him up, and I opened the gate, and then I just knew that I myself had to set him free. And so in the morning light, when everyone else was sleeping, I then just lifted him up into the air, and he could fly so well. He just flew into the morning light and just went straight out into the sky. And as soon as I saw him flying, this huge energy, this huge overwhelming feeling within me lifted, and I just cried, because I knew that he came crashing into my window. And they said, and then I looked it up afterwards as an omen, like it's a good omen. If a bird crashes into your window, it's a bad omen if they die. But it was this whole thing of something within me needed to be freed. And so birds are very powerful images, and birds are very powerfully important spiritual messages. And I just, since we've been talking about birds, wanted to share that story with you. And yeah, hope it somehow resonates.
Wow. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing, Daniel. I relate, like, I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga now for 11 years, and I grew up with a very traumatic childhood, and it saved my life. You know, like Nicki's songs, her shlokas, they move me to tears multiple times a week, because I think of the song Amazing Grace. I remember I was just so lost in darkness, and I was just overwhelmed with like sadness and pain, and meditation saved my life. It absolutely saved my life. And I felt like it's interesting, because I had a bird moment that inspired Insideology. Like literally, I was like, I feel like my wings have been trapped in a cage, and I feel like everyone is just, society has placed us in these cages, and I want to release people from these cages. I want them to fly. And that was the picture I had in my head. Like I was an eagle, because I've seen my spirit animal as an eagle. It's come to me and it's become me, and I've flown as it. And I've just felt that trappedness within myself. And I didn't know like everyone had all these bird symbolism. But we actually we do have to move on. We did spend a good amount of time, but I think it was worth it. And so I know like if like Yaya, Mitzi, I'm so sorry if we're infringing on anyone's time. I do love having a bit of spontaneity in things and allowing it to be organic. I think it was important for Daniel to have a chance to share, and you know, I didn't feel like it was time to end the meditation. So I apologize if we've been going over a lot, but Nicki, are you okay passing it on?
I've just for anyone who wants to hear the shlokas or to buy the album or to contact it, if you want to contact me personally, I'm just going to write my email address if you have any questions, or if you want to even learn how to sing these shlokas yourself. If you have a particular shloka you want to learn, I'm happy to teach it to you. My email address is there, and my website is there, where you can see the album of the shlokas. And yeah, feel free to get in touch.
Thank you so much, Nicki. I love you so much. It's so good to see you. It's been years. Nicki and I lived together. I lived with her in London. We were housemates, and it's been years. And I was so happy because I heard your album, and I was like, oh my God, can you do this? And I was like, I know her. She can sing for us. So thank you so much for taking your time to share that with us. And
very nice to
Shan and Kush, hi. Do you see them? We all live together in London. Shan, me, Kush, and Nicki. So we're having a couple reunions. There's a few people from Ghana. I went from Ghana to London. So this is a nice little reunion. Okay, so next up is Yaya. And Yaya, do you have time? Hi, beautiful.
Hi, I'm here. Hey, I have so much time for you all.
Okay, so what are we going to be doing today?
Yeah, totally. So, hi, guys and gals. I'm Yaya. I met Brennan. It's okay to do a quick intro. How are we on
Yeah,
time? We're
yeah.
okay.
Well,
Um,
what is time?
what is time? I
I don't
met
even know
Brennan
the
in
day.
Ghana. Rebecca was there too. Peace and love to everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to be talking about inner child work today, and how, parenting, reparenting your inner child can help to heal generations, intergenerationally. And if you do have children, also how parenting your children is the one of the greatest ways to heal intergenerational trauma, and the inner child. And so, first, let's see, I'm gonna hang my pictures. If you can see it. But first, I wanted us to just chat a little bit about the inner child. I hope you can hear me well. Can you still hear me as I move?
Yes.
Cool. So, a lot of times when we think about healing, it's probably super far. Anyways, that's more from my knowledge. Anytime we think about healing the inner child, a lot of times,
Wait, you froze on my phone?
can anyone else still hear me and see
I can
me?
hear and see you. You're okay on my end.
Okay. Brandon is frozen on my end too. Should I keep going? Should I wait? What do you think, Mary?
Keep going, keep going. It's my
Okay.
Wi-Fi. Just ignore
Okay,
me.
cool. Awesome. And so, I like to start off by saying that we all have an inner child, and a lot of times when we think about trauma or dealing with the inner child, we have some resistance to the work, and acknowledging it, because we may not have a physical like memory of something super traumatic that may have happened during childhood. And so I think it's important just to start by mentioning that even if you don't have the memory, and this so is in alignment with what Brennan just mentioned about, I wrote it down, but anyways, it's saying even if you don't have the memory, it doesn't mean that there wasn't an experience. Brennan, you just said something like that, and it's driving me crazy that I can't make the connection. But you said, anyways, it doesn't
I
matter.
was saying
Go
that the
ahead.
body keeps the score, right?
Yeah, I think so, but there was something else. It will come back around and it will make sense. But the point is, yeah, and so sometimes it can be really, most usually is like unmet emotional needs. And so I wanted us to do a meditation where we could take the time to relax and connect with our inner child. And so after that, we can reflect. And so I will guide us gently into a very brief, relaxing meditation. If you have around or don't a picture of yourself, a significant picture of yourself during childhood on your phone or just around you, feel free to grab it. Or even just put it in your mind's eye. And if not, it's totally okay, because we can just transport ourselves into a time. Yeah. So whenever you're ready, just give me a thumbs up, and we can all get ready to tune in together.
I just want to say, everyone, that I'm going to have to go, but lots and lots of love to you all, and lovely to have met you all, and hope to see you again soon. Lots of love.
Thank you, Nicki.
Bye, Nicki.
All right. Are we ready, loves? All right. So let's just sit real comfy. Just relax. All right. I'm going to start with our breath. Just grounding ourselves together in this moment, setting the intention to connect with that inner child, that time and space. We'll do our breathing in through our nose. And as we release it as if you're blowing on a mirror to make the sound. We'll just do a few more breaths to ground ourselves together. Try and get all that air out. One more. Now continue to breathe and focus on your breath as you are guided and thinking of your childhood. Don't force a memory, just whatever first comes to mind, what childhood means for you. If you have a photo that you're using, feel free to gaze or scry into that photo. If not, just capture it all in your mind's eye and try to imagine yourself during that time. Who are you in childhood? What comes to mind? Look and observe. How does that person feel? What are they experiencing? And what do they need in that moment? And just stay and observe what you're feeling, what you're seeing, with no judgment, just a gentle awareness. And as you witness, we'll stay there for a moment, continuing to breathe with one another. And if what you are seeing or feeling is unpleasant, we are here with you. We're together. You have purpose and family and connection. And if what you are seeing is pleasant, hold that vibration and share it out to those who may need it. Send your compassion to those who may need it. We're going to take a few more moments to just breathe. Continue to observe yourself as a child, that inner child. You may not be able to see a physical child, but you can sense the feelings, the energies, the colors, sounds, the smells. All of these are clues and pieces that can be used to connect deeper to your inner child later. We have about 1 more minute to connect. And we begin to observe and ask, if we're able to, what does this child need? What are they needing? And if you can do so, and if that child allows, offer them what they need. Be for them what they needed in that time. And don't worry if you don't know how to be that just yet. Reassure that inner child that you are committed to finding ways to heal and grow and honor this person deep inside of all of us. Now it's time to go. You can begin to bring your awareness slowly back into your physical body, into your environment around you, slowly dissolving that inner image. We'll see you soon, promising to return to incorporate more into our daily lives. Begin to open your eyes when you're ready. You can move around. Slowly bring your awareness back. And as you come back, if you have a paper or your phone or your note, if you feel comfortable, just begin to write some of the feelings or sensations, images, and we can chat about them if you're comfortable. Does anyone want to talk about how they feel, what they felt, what they saw or experienced? Hi, Mary. Go, Mary.
Hello, Yaya. Thank you for that meditation. I saw myself as a toddler. Gosh, I actually had tears. Ooh, like I was eating a salad, and then when you said we're visiting our inner child, I'm like, this is gonna be good. I'm putting my salad away. So I saw myself as a toddler, 3 years old, and it was the stage where I was immigrating from Vietnam with my parents, and I looked at myself and I said, like, what from this from the age I am now to 3 years old, then I said, like, what do you need? And the answer was to know that love is real. So I just told her that everything's gonna be okay. Like, I'm back in Vietnam right now, revisiting my roots, and I've been here for 6 months, and this is where I met Brennan. And it's really grounded me to know that I am love, and I don't need to seek it from anyone else, not from outside of me, because I was created out of love.
Yeah.
So it was a really deep reminder that it's always there, and to tell myself everything's gonna be okay. So that's what I experienced. So
Wow, that is so beautiful. Thank you, Mary. Oh my goodness. I don't want to rush. I have something. If someone else wants to go, more important that they have something to say, I want to open it up before I go.
Mitzi, do you have time? Sorry, you're muted.
Yeah, I have time.
Okay. So does anyone else want to share? Sharing is caring. So I had an interesting experience because I've done some inner child work and it's been traumatic most of the time, but it wasn't that traumatic this time. And it was interesting because I feel like when you enter a relationship as your adult self with your inner child and you revisit it, sometimes you can see them growing and playing. And I used to always see my house when my parents moved to China in 2009 after the recession, and we lost our house. That has always filled me with a sense of homelessness. And when I would visit that house in my visions, it would be empty, full of dust. And this time it was full. It was full of all of the things that I loved. And I was playing in my front yard, and I could see the ice cream man and taste the hot Cheetos and the Pet Lucas. And like, you know, we used to have all the kids, we used to have like 20 black kids running up and down the street playing football. And, you know, my house, we had daycare kids and 6 kids. So, you know, we had all the toys, we had all the bikes, we were building skateboard ramps. And I just haven't looked back on my childhood and seen the joy in a while. I've seen a lot of the pain, and it was really interesting because I expected like, oh, it's going to be something traumatic, but I saw good this time. So that's new for me.
Oh, that's awesome. So what I feel like is important, I think us doing it together was pretty cool. I've usually done this work alone too, and like Brennan is saying, it's been pretty traumatic. Usually when I do inner child work or even ancestral work, where I'm like, what did y'all do to me? I didn't ask for this shit. I'm like fighting at the altar, like, I didn't ask for this. Usually it's pretty, you know, traumatic. But I too felt a lot more at ease, you know, with us together, and just reminding us that we were like on this journey together and feeling strong. I'd like to say something about what Mary said. What made me think after Mary spoke was that I feel like our inner child lessons and traumas and things that we really needed is almost like the catalyst of what we're here to like bring to earth. And for me, where I wrote down for my unmet needs were connection, you know, to feel connected to. I had everything I needed materially, you know, I always had those things, but I never had the connection that I desired. And I always wanted, excuse me, son, I always wanted to, you can draw on this. I've always wanted to have that family, and I would go and visit. Like, we would eat separately. My mom would cook. My mom can throw down soul food, bless you. She can throw down, but she would literally just cook, and we leave the food in the pots. We didn't have like serving bowls and serving spoons at the table and everyone at the table. Everyone went to a separate room, we had separate TVs, we had separate, like, all the siblings, and I thought it was normal, and I was the only one who was like missing something. And I would visit my neighbor's house, and they'd be fucking baking cookies from scratch and playing Monopoly all night. And I'm like, this is what families do. This is what, and I wanted that. And from a very young age, I knew I didn't have that. And so even to this day, I still seek that as a grown person within my family. And I'm grateful for the global family that my tribe, you know, that I have began to find that helps me to feel that connection. And so a lot of times the way I have to give myself what I need is that connection with myself, which is why meditation and mindfulness and all of these wonderful practices has helped me to come into myself and to pay attention to me and to be with me the way I would want someone to pay attention to me, myself. That's how I give myself what I need. When I'm yearning or reaching outward for something, whether it's food or sex or fun or a substance, whatever it is that I'm seeking, I'm trying to give it more and more to myself, and that has become my life's work of self-acceptance, radical self-acceptance. And so if anyone else wants to share, that's cool, and if not, I can give some cool tips on other ways to connect, because this is kind of like it's totally a journey. It's a relationship, and like any relationship, it's ongoing. And so yeah.
I really liked what you said, and that was new for me, what you said about how, like, what our inner child needed is like our mission to create. Like,
Yeah.
that is so powerful, and that's why I think it's so important. Healing work. We cannot heal the world until we heal ourselves. And when you were born into a place where you lacked connection, you sought connection, and so you learned what connection was, and then you can recreate that. And when we were talking on voice notes before, and I was like, I feel very neglected by my family. And that being neglected has driven me to like fight to be noticed, and so and then to not be like my family and say, I want to notice people, I don't want to neglect people. So in a way, it's like when we do that inner work, our inner demons can become our powers. They can become, you know, you can turn that into gold. You know, you can transmute that through these powerful things. And I think for us who've been coming, we've been doing a lot of healing. So we did inner child work on session 2, you know, and now my inner child's playing and very happy. So it's really nice to know that we're collectively like healing together. Even though we have very different experiences, we all have pain and we all have inner children and we all want very similar things at the end of the day. So thank you for that. I'm on mute now.
Of course. I have one last thing to say if we have time, like 2 minutes. I don't know if there's any other parents or people who would like to parent or work with children, but a lot of my work, inner child work, has come from working with my own child who is now 5. I always say that our children, yes, I mean you, our children come with what we most need to learn. And so I always found it ironic. I learned so much through my relationship with this child because he's super spirited and he's also a highly sensitive person. And I wouldn't have known that about myself if I hadn't have started to learn my child and witness him. And he's more, so is what I'll say in a nice way. He's extra and more. And he just doesn't give a F, you know. And I am a person who, because I didn't get that, what I needed, that connection, I never learned how to connect to myself, because we learn who we are through our connection with others. And so not having that, I grew up just really trying to hide myself and not understanding myself and being a people pleaser and codependent, and you know, it's a whole big thing. And my life was miserable, and I had all these external accolades that people would look at and say, wow, you've lived such a full life. And I felt like I missed it all, and it didn't matter to me because it wasn't really coming from within me. And I was tired of being miserable, which is why I left again to Ghana and took my son to Ghana after getting my graduate degree. And then he began to just show me how he was even more wilder and crazier. And here we are in Ghana, where children are more like reserved and expected to be respectful. And he's like telling people, you bet not hit me, I'm gonna call my mama. They're like, I will beat you all. He's like, you will not, I will call my mom. And I'm like, oh shit. And he's this person, I used to think he was so combative and hard, but he's like, fuck you, you're not going to abuse me, you're not going to disrespect me, at 4 and 5 years old. And he is showing me how to do that for myself as a grown person, how to be me. Like, how is it that I am so scared? I have so many things that I want to do, and I'm always thinking about other people. And this guy is like, F y'all. And he's forcing me, he's forcing me to be me. We'll be in a restaurant eating, and an airplane will fly by. We're in Ghana, and he's like, it's a plane! Oh, it's a plane! And I'm like, shh, shh. And people are looking at us, and he's like, I don't care if they laugh at me. Like, who says this at 4? And so forcing me to not give a fuck, because that's what I've been doing too much in my life, excuse my language, but forcing me to not give a fuck. So this inner child work is so powerful, because you begin to give yourself what you needed, so that, see, because what could have happened, luckily Spirit gave me such a strong-willed child to force my ass to break this shit, because my mom was the same way, a people pleaser who slaved at work, was never happy, and brought her discomfort home because she had no other choice. I didn't want to pass it on to my son, and Spirit was like, don't worry, we got you, you're not. He's going to force you to step it up, because what could have happened is I could have passed this on to him, and I could have had like a child who's not confident and not resilient and who cares. And even to this day, we're back in the States. We're going out to Costco for toilet paper, and he's cutting up in the store. He's like, Mama, that girl's staring at me because I'm acting crazy, and I don't care. And I'm like, dang, like, you got to just say it like that. So I'm just channeling more of that. And I just wanted to share that personal piece, because it brings it full circle, the inner work that I'm doing, and to think about how brave my child is. And it just encourages me to be brave. And so I just wanted to share that the work you do inside, is so beneficial to everyone. So thank you.
Justice there? Can we see Justice? Honestly.
Sorry.
I'm calling him, girl. I'm like, me pacho, bra.
Hey, me pacho, bra, cobra, me
Come say
cobra.
hi, right? You want to
Thank
come
you
say
for
hi, Nikki?
sharing. Yeah,
Thank you
let's
so
meet the
much.
little Justice.
Oh.
He's like, no, I don't want to say hi. What's up, Justice? It's so
Say
nice to
hi.
meet
You
you.
want to
I
greet
saw you when you were
everybody?
in the belly.
Don't be shy. You don't want to say hi. You don't have to if you want to. You ready to go? You can use your words too. You can say hi. No. Okay. This is Justice. Thank you so much,
What's up,
everyone.
Justice? Thank you, Yaya. And yeah, I want to say, like, Yaya, thank you for sharing that. And you were even a bit like doubting yourself from the get, and I was like, girl,
Yeah.
you got to do this. Like, this is what you were called to do, and I felt called to push you, because when I listened to your meditation, I was like, you're supposed to be doing this. Like, you have a very calming energy and a very great voice, and yeah, so thank you for sharing, and I
Thank you
love
so
you, and
much.
I'm so
I love
happy
you
to
more.
see
I
you
love all of you.
stepping
Thank you
into
so
the
much.
light. Yes, you are beautiful. You're beautiful. I took your maternity photos in that
I
field, and that was
know.
like such a special.
I don't know if we have
So if
time
you
to
guys see
sign
the
those, but
flyer,
yes.
for her, those photos I took, and that was like very special, because you like had your boobies out, and you were like,
Right.
I feel safe around you. You were
It's
like, that was very
true.
intimate, and you made me feel safe, and I felt like it was like a magical experience seeing
It
you and
was.
the African field. I was like transported to another world, and so it's so
Yes.
nice to reconnect with you, and I'm very happy that you shared that. So all
Thank
right, now
you.
we're gonna move on to Mitzi.
Hello here.
Hey,
Hi
how's it
guys.
going?
Good.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to introduce Mitzi. So Mitzi is a really good friend of mine, and she is super empathic, super sensitive to energy, and a really deep, caring soul. I can see she's preparing the space to help us with breath work, and I sat across from her before where I don't know. I'm excited to learn this again because she taught me once and I was like, oh my gosh, that just like feels really different and I'm more open. And I have a hard time like breathing a lot. So she's here to like help us reduce our levels of anxiety with breath work. So I'm going to pass it on to Mitzi right now. Do your thing.
Okay. Hi guys. So first of all, I guess I'd like to start by explaining the benefits of Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. So basically, it connects the brain with the body, and it opens up nadis, which are energy like channels in your body. So that helps bring you into a state of calm and it helps to ground you down. And another great benefit is it helps with anxiety and it helps with headaches. It's really good at nighttime if you want to use Nadi Shodhana before you go to bed. Really, really good. Another time you can use it is before a meditation, because it helps ground you down before you come down into your meditation. So first of all, if you come sit cross-legged, if you have a cushion, if you're on a sofa, that's okay as well. And you can just bring your left palm and leave that on your left leg. And just bring your right palm up. Now what you've got to do is form a mudra, okay? So you bring your first and your second fingers down, okay? You got it? First and the second fingers down, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to alternate between the thumb and the ring finger with the breath work, okay? So just get your fingers down first, and we'll worry about how you do the alternate practice afterwards. Okay, so we'll just do 3 simple breaths before we do the alternate nostril breathing. So just place your hands down on your knees, okay? And I'd like you to breathe in and out through the nose. Your tongue is to the roof of the mouth, and your lips are sealed, okay? So 3 breaths, nice breaths, not strong, just gentle ones. Okay. Once you have your 3 breaths done, take your right palm up again and bring that first and second finger down, okay? So bring the thumb to the right side of the nose, very gently, okay? Now I want you to just inhale first through the left side, inhale, and then exhale through the right side. And then I want you to block the left side and inhale through the right. And then I want you to block the right and exhale through the left. Again, inhale through the right. Block the left and exhale through the left, the right side. Inhale through the right. Block the right. Exhale through the left. Again, inhale through the left. Block the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Block the right. Exhale through the left. One more round. Inhale through the right. The left, sorry. Block the left. Exhale through the right. Okay, just bring your palms to your knees and let's take 3 breaths again. In and out through the nose, tongue to the roof of the mouth, and the lips are sealed. Okay, you can open your eyes. I'd like you to bring your hands together. Rub your hands together and get some heat going. And then put your hands over your eyes just for a moment. Bring the palms to the earth. Okay, and back onto your knees. Now, you can do this practice for about a week. It's a very simple, like alternate nostril breathing practice. And I would say do it for about 5 minutes every morning before your meditation. And do that for about a week. And then I'd like to show you a breath retention as well, okay? So I'll do the breath retention practice and you can watch me, and then we'll do it together, okay? So I'll just bring again the first and the second finger down, Okay, I'll just take my breaths first, 3 breaths. Okay, so let's bring the right thumb, to the right side of the nose. Okay, and just hold it gently. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the left. Then I want you to hold the both nostrils together and do a lock. Bring your head down for 3. 1, 2, 3. Release. Bring the finger to the left side of the nose, and I want you to exhale to the right. Inhale to the right. And then I want you to hold, lock. 1, 2, 3. Release. For the left, the right, and exhale to the left. Again, inhale to the left. And hold to a lock. Just putting your head down. 1, 2, 3. Release the right, and then exhale to the right. Do it again. Inhale to the right. Lock both nostrils and hold. 1, 2, 3. Release the left. Exhale to the left. Do one more. Inhale to the left. Lock both nostrils and hold. 1, 2, 3. Release the right and exhale to the right. You can bring your palms to your knees again. And take 3 nice breaths again. In and out through the nose. Again, bring the palms together, rub them, get some heat going. Hands over the eyes just for a moment. And bring the palms to the earth, up to the sky, and into prayer position. Namaste. I have to apologize, my voice is a bit sore today, so I can't talk very well, but I would definitely advise do the simple practice for about a week and do it before you meditate, and then you can move on to the breath retention where you do the hold. Yeah, you do notice benefits after about a week. It's very good for calming anxiety, and for, if you find it hard to sleep, it's good at nighttime as well.
Itzy, how often do you do this? Do you do this like every single day?
Yes.
Okay. What other benefits have you experienced from doing this regularly?
Just more focus and a sense of calm, because I do suffer from anxiety quite a lot. I was diagnosed with anxiety. And I do find, if I'm getting a bit anxious, you can even do it like anywhere, you can do it anywhere. And as soon as I do it, you're getting oxygen to the brain. and it just calms you down, just grounds you, you know. And it's really good for meditation. Awesome. I know, like, just doing it the once here at me might be a bit confusing, but if you look up videos on YouTube, you'll find ladies on there doing the practice, if you want to keep practicing it. I have a book as well. It's called The Science of Breath. And there's some pretty profound information in here as to the benefits of Nadi Shodhana and other breath practices as well, you know, from different pranayamas. But I like this one because it's simple, you know, it's a pretty simple one to do.
Can you, sorry, can you type that in the comments, what the title of the book is and the author?
Absolutely.
And while she's typing, does anybody want to say anything about what they experienced with that breath work? Oh, Danny said, I have been doing it for a while, a few months.
Oh, good.
You tell me.
I'll just get the authors out. Science of Breath.
Right.
It's a practical guide.
For me, again, I've mentioned before I have struggled with breathing because my breath is like, I just breathe up in my chest. Where you're supposed to like breathe through the whole, like all the lungs. So I could breathe better after I did that. And what she did was balancing. So like when I was studying natural medicine, we did a lot of balancing methods. Like on a previous session, we had somebody teach us moving the eyes to the left and then to the middle and to the right and then back again. And when you keep rebalancing your body, that's when it's difficult for disease to develop. You slow down disease. And every single day we're bombarded with like pollutions, toxins, like unhealthy foods, radiation. So it's continuous work, like Mitzi does, continuous work to rebalance herself. And it's called homeostasis. And when your body is in balance, it's hard to develop disease, like I said. It's just one. Does anybody else want to say anything about what they experienced with the breath work that she taught? What's it called, Mitzi?
It's called Nadi Shodhana.
Nadi Shodhana. Yes, and she's a yoga instructor.
Or else you can just call it alternate nostril breathing. Yeah.
Thank you. Danny wanted to say something.
Oh, okay. I'm unmuted. Yeah. I've been doing it for a few months. I've implemented it with my group and stuff. And once you start doing it, you're going to feel like, I always feel that electromagnetic grounding even through my feet. So it's really connected to grounding and calming, and then really grounding and helping your roots. Yeah, I've been implementing, and it does help clear some of the spaces with your nostrils and the nose. I've even noticed it combining those upper chakras with the lower chakras, being cohesive in your breathing and working really good with other breathing techniques. It helps the other breathing techniques actually.
Yeah.
And like you said, it brings it kind of your breathing almost becomes into like you were saying, Mary, a homeostasis balance, because adding this is key, because you're going from the nose, then you do the in through the nose, out through the mouth. This is all nose, and then even breathing through your mouth and out your mouth. You can see how these all work together through your body. It's been really a really great practice, and like she was saying, it doesn't take very many minutes to implement it.
Very simple.
Very, very simple. And it's powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And another thing that I learned on my pranayama course, when you're doing this practice, so you're breathing kind of into your nose, right? And when you're doing the out breaths, at the end of the out breath, you let your belly just go out.
Yeah.
And then you hold your pelvic floor. You know those muscles? Your pelvic floor, before you inhale again. You can practice if you want, but yeah, you do that, yeah?
Yeah. Because I know that, I don't know, I'm probably not unmuted anymore, but right, let me see. Oh, I am, okay. Is that you kind of felt like you're struggling to breathe, right? At times you get caught, but you realize you're not. And then you kind of can relax through it. Because I know the first times I did it, when it's like, especially with the hold, that kind of the hold goes with the seasonal breathing, right? You're kind of holding, and it's kind of goes into gratitude, you know, giving and taking, or sowing and reaping. Because the breath is always giving and taking, right? Automatically. It's nature.
Yeah.
Even connected to your money, right? It is actually. And really with the balance of that, at first you'll be like grasping, oh, can I hold this even for the 3 seconds? But really, you're really, it's easy. And you'll see, oh, it's safe. Their safety net is there. I'm okay. Because if there's any fear for anybody got one, and during the hold periods, and if you breathe from your chest a lot, you might get that. Yeah, and you'll see, oh, okay, I'm safe. I have plenty of oxygen.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing, Danny, and thank you so much, Mitzi, for showing us that technique and the breath work to reduce anxiety. Guys, do this before bed. It is really grounding, and grounding helps you be safe and secure and supported in your body. When you're having anxiety, you're kind of like out. You're unstable. So grounding makes it strengthens your core. Absolutely. When there's a lot of energy, changing energy. So do you want to say anything else, Mitzi, before I pass it on to Brennan?
Just check out the YouTube. There's lots of ladies on there that do the practice, so that you can, you know, practice it again, because doing it once is a bit like, you know, it's a bit, you know, for the brain already to do the fingers, it's a bit kind of oh, this is really new, you know. So just watch the YouTube videos and try it at home. It's really good.
Yeah. Thank you, Mitzi.
Yeah, I would add, like, I don't do, I mean, I've done Nadi Shodhana, but I've found in my movement and yoga practice, like, the breath is so important. And, you know, so if you've come to all of our sessions, or you can go back and watch them, one of the themes that is run through every session is doing things mindfully, paying attention to these processes in our body that we really take for granted. You know, the breath is vital. You know, it's so vital to every moment that we're alive. And just by doing this, it's like you take for granted so much that you're breathing, you know. And just by tuning into your breath, you can start to loosen up. And like Mary, she's come over, and I'm like, Mary, feel your lungs, like feel how they expand into the side and into the back. And you start to bring blood flow into all of these tissues surrounding your entire rib cage. And then there's the whole diaphragm, which lifts and it compresses all of your organs and your digestion. And really the breath, the whole, even speaking, you know, it's like this from the bottom of the body all the way up into our brain, you know, where all of the sound is resonating. Like there's a whole system of breath. And so I hear it in a lot of my friends, because I do body work, and I hear it in people who have like anxiety or even like a lot of insecurity, that their chest feels shallow, their breath is like very, very shallow. So by doing it, it's kind of like working these tissues. And so it can help, it's helped me tremendously breathing.
Yeah.
So definitely everyone, the biggest lesson from this is like explore all these little things. Like take some time with yourself, you know, sit, hear your breathing, check out your hands, feel your body. You know, we did myofascial release, you know, we do EFT tapping, we felt these meridians. You know, Crystal showed us how she like sometimes holds her food and observes it before, like just having that mindfulness and thinking about all of the intricacies around us. So thank you for showing that. And that is all for this evening. I will say we are late, but since my Zoom ended, this is the shortest meeting we've had, 2 hours and 7 minutes. So yay, we're kind of actually on time. So tomorrow morning for us, basically in the next 10 hours is our final session. And we're really excited to have our final session, Mary and I. No, this has been a huge endeavor for us. It's taken so much energy, But you know what's so interesting for me is like the minute we start, I'm energized. Like Yaya was like, "Oh, you look like you're glowing." I'm like, for some reason, when we start, you guys give me energy, you know? And then when we end, I'm like, oh. Mary and I are like trudging through quicksand to get like stuff done. So it's been a long time, but I'm so happy with how this has turned out and that people are tuning in from around the world. And we'll let you guys go, but we'll be posting about like if you found this valuable and you'd like to support us, like you can donate, but like posting takes time and we need to sleep. Okay, so we will see you all hopefully in the final session. I feel this bubbling up of and this clearing out, and so like if you've come 1 or 2, 3, Victor's come for all of them. Yay, Victor! You know the final one is I feel my energy has just risen and risen. So even if it's like early for you, or I mean, you can always tune in and watch the recordings. This kind of happening is rare. We're all separate at home. How often do you get to gather with people in your home and have really strong meditations? So
Let me,
thank you guys for coming.
I'm going to announce so our last 2 guests, we have Lisa who does vibrational alchemy healing. So I've had 2 sessions with her where she's pulled out a lot of like karmic blocks, emotional blocks from my family lineage that will break the karma that I would pass on to my future children. And I had like miraculous physical sensations with her healing from a distance. And she's going to be live from New Zealand. And our last guest is Stephanie, and she's going to go live from Vietnam. She is a women's empowerment coach. Her workshop is going to be unifying the masculine and feminine inside of you, and everybody has this energy. Just like masculine and is like determined to finish a goal, and femininity is like receiving an idea. So we all have this energy within us, and there's no gender to it. So she's going to help us with her workshop. She also helps people tune into their sensuality and sexuality. So that's how we're going to close. And now I'm going to give it to you, Brennan, to end this.
I mean, that's all. Love you guys. Love, light, peace.
Bye.
We bow to you. And love, light, peace, sleep, rest, breathe. Yes. See you.
Okay, thanks guys. Sorry about my parrot.
No, it's okay. All in good timing.
Okay.
Bye. Wait, how do I leave? I'm on